In this tutorial, we're going to talk about keywords, how to make keywords for your project and your project content, how keywords are used on the site, and how you can use keywords in your own project. So right now I'm logged in as a project administrator of the William Kentridge project. Now, when your project was first created, along with providing your project name and description, you were asked to provide some keywords for your project. And you can see all of these project keywords displayed on the lab's homepage, right down here, as well as on the projects page, right over here. And that way you can see what other projects are working on and if there are other projects in the lab that are working in areas close to your own. So that's a nice way of connecting with other projects that you may not have known about before. If you would like to add more keywords to your project or change the keywords, you can easily do that by clicking on the Edit tab in your project page. So I'm going to go back to the William Kentridge project, click on Edit, and I can see the keywords associated with this project right here. So you'll notice if you start typing in a keyword, you'll get a list of all the keywords that already exist in the site. And this is to help you see what's already out there and whether or not there's a keyword that already exists that's very similar to the one you were going to type in. So as a really basic example, if I was trying to type in analogies, then maybe I'll choose analogy instead, since I know that another project has that keyword and I can sort of associate myself with that project. So projects have keywords associated with themselves. Also, as a member of the lab, I have keywords associated with myself in the form of research interests. So if I click on my account right here, you can see my research interests right here. And if I want to edit that, I can just click on Profile and edit them right here. And you can see all of those research interests of all of the members of the lab under the Members tab right here. So you can check out who has similar research interests to you. So you'll see if I click on urbanism, for example, I'll get a list of all the people in the lab with that research interest. And lastly, you can have keywords associated with your project content. And if you create keywords for your content wisely, you can also use those keywords to help organize your content. So let's look at how you can do that with the William Kentridge project. So I'll go to the William Kentridge project front page right now. So the first thing you could do, of course, is create a tag cloud of all the keywords from your project content and put it on the page, just like what you saw on the projects and members page. So to do this, we'll go to Pages, Edit Content, and I want to add these tag clouds to this little section here, so I'll click on the plus icon here, Add Content, and what I want is under Project Tools. So we've got two options here, Keyword Cloud and Keyword List. And these are just two different ways of displaying the same data, so I'll add them both and we can see what they look like. First, I'll add the keyword cloud, and I'm going to drag it up to the top of this column here so I can see it really well. And then I'll add the keyword list. And again, I'll just drag that right so it's right under the keyword cloud. Then I'll click Save. And if we go to the home page, we'll see those. So here they are. As you can see, this project doesn't really have that many keywords associated with it yet, but you can sort of get a sense of what these two listings look like. Now this is helpful just to get a visualization of what keywords exist in your project so far, but you can also use keywords to organize your project content. So you may have already thought about this to yourself. When you get a whole lot of content on your project page, it might be hard to organize the content into meaningful groupings. So we already know how to make groups of different kinds of content, like the images and the links, etc. But what if we have a whole ton of images and we don't want them to be just listed as one group? We want to separate them into images about one thing or another. Now that's when keywords become really powerful. So let's do that right now. So as you can see, we've got a lot of images on the William Kentridge project, and all of these images have keywords associated with them already. For example, we've got this image that has self-portrait keyword and the ubu keyword. So now I want to limit these images by images that only have ubu in them. So I'll do that by going to Pages, Edit Content, and I'll create this image carousel right under the image carousel that has all images in it. So I'll go Project Assets, Project Images, and here's where I can limit my images by keyword. So I'll click on the ubu keyword, and then I'll create a new title that makes this clear that these are only images with ubu in them. Then I'll click Finish and Save. And then we go to the home page. We can see that this group of images only has images with ubu in them. So if you had a huge collection of images, you could organize them and display them all in different displays by different keywords. So now we're going to look at a project that's done a lot of organizing by keyword so you can see what's possible. So this is the Course Threads project. And this project is basically a project with a lot of sub-projects. So on the home page, there's a description of what Course Threads is about, and then there's a whole bunch of other pages for each individual course thread right here. And all of the pages have a lot of content in them. You can see there's a lot of project images for the visible language course thread, and there's also a lot of images for the historical and modern city course thread. And each of these groups of images is different, and that's because the people who put the images on here associated them with the keywords for the course thread, and then created lists of images that are limited by those keywords. So you can have entire pages of different types of content that's limited by some keyword. So hopefully this has given you a good idea of how keywords are used in the site and how you can use them in your project. If you have any questions about this tutorial, or if you have a suggestion for another tutorial, feel free to let us know by clicking on the Contact tab in the main navigation of the THL site and send us a message. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the lab.